the greatest of relationships. Glenn, for better or worse, likes to have really personal connections with his coaches and who he works with, especially in the basketball side of things, and that has been slow to materialize. I will say that all this summer, Tibbs has made an effort to be more engaging to Glenn, to be more communicative, to engage more people on the business side and those sorts of things, to try and foster some goodwill. And I think that he has made strides in that area. From what I understand, Glenn has been pleased with how that part of the equation has gone. But there's no way that he can't be disappointed in this and that he can't be, frustrated. I have not talked to Glenn. He has been quiet for now. So I don't know, but knowing him as long as I have and knowing that, he wasn't the biggest fan of trading Zach LaVine last summer, but said, okay, if I'm going to let Tibbs succeed, if I'm going to give him every opportunity, I have to make this deal. He's got to be kind of biting his tongue and having some second thoughts right now.
From Bo J. Van Beek, basically he's asking, what kind of player do you think the Wolves will or should target in a trade?
Well, it was just mentioned earlier, Tobias Harris is a quality young player who's been in the league 4 years or so, 5 years, and has blossomed into a very good scorer, can shoot the ball. So you get like a young, 25, 26-year-old veteran. If you could get another maybe rookie or young player to develop as well, that would be an ideal situation. And if you can get some sort of pick, that would be great. The question will be, is without any leverage on their side, how willing are some of these teams going to be to give the Wolves anything? They can just say, hey, look, Jimmy doesn't want to be there. He's going to be a free agent after next year. We'll wait, and we'll wait it out. And we know that he can't come back. When Flip traded Wiggins, or traded Love for Wiggins, one of the reasons he was able to get the return that he did was he was able to convince other executives that I'll play this season with Love. I'll play it out. I don't care. And because there wasn't, everyone knew Love wanted to be traded and there was some disenchantment, but it wasn't this.
No.
And so he could sort of play hardball and bluff and get to a point where you get Andrew Wiggins and Anthony Bennett and Thaddeus Young, and that was a good return at the time for their situation because that was happening end of July into August. But this one, everyone knows you can't bring Jimmy Butler back here. And so the odds of a GM saying, okay, I'll give you everything you're looking for are almost zero. So that's the position they're in right now. I do not envy them at all.
A few more Twitter questions and a final thought coming up. Once again, go to bitesquad.com, download their app, use the promo code TalkNorth, get your first delivery free. Use the promo code TalkNorth every time you go to Bite Squad as a favor to us. We appreciate it. Bite Squad, food for your mood delivered. From Burke's Barbecue, I think Jimmy told Tibbs on Monday, and Tibbs flew out to change his mind on Tuesday. Any chance that's true?
It's possible. It's possible, but I will say that I was the one who broke the news on Saturday of the meeting taking place, and everything that I was told going into that meeting was that Jimmy Butler had made a decision that he wanted out, but there were people who said, I don't know for sure if he's going to have the guts to look Tibbs in the eye and say, Tibbs, this is what I want. And not that Jimmy is a soft guy or anything like that, but there were people in that group that said, shoot, Tibbs could come in, give him the speech, tap into something, and Jimmy could say, F it, let's go. Right. Yeah, I'm ready to do this. And maybe it's going to not work out, but who cares? In a year, I'm going to be a free agent anyway. So there were several people who I really trust who said, we think this is what's going to happen. We don't know for sure. And so I do, I think that Tibbs went out there knowing he probably had some work to do, not expecting him to dig in like this and do it like this.
We're going to get some of these might be a little redundant, so we'll just try to see if there are any new angles to dive into from Grant Becker. How did Tibbs leave all this for so late? What was his plan for keeping Butler if he wasn't willing to clear cap space for renegotiating an extension this summer? Won't be much extra space next summer with a cat deal impending, not like he values Jang on the court.
So he absolutely would say, yeah, we want to sign Jimmy to a max deal next summer. They would be over the cap and largely probably into the luxury tax by doing that. But that was Tibbs's plan, is to keep him around that way. Jimmy did want them to renegotiate and extend his deal this summer, but they would have had to clear cap room, so they would have had to trade probably Gorgie and Teague or Wiggins to do that, and they would have had to salary dump them. So essentially, they would have had to gut their roster to do it, and rightfully so. They said, Jimmy, we can't do that. That doesn't make sense. We have to win. We'll take care of you next summer, but those means aren't available to us. So that was his plan for it, and obviously Jimmy was not on board with that plan.
From Matt Midthun, Tibbs has to be gone, right? What credibility does he have in the organizational locker room now? Any whispers of this? Well,
there's not whispers yet in terms of like Glenn contemplating making a move right now, but everyone knows. I mean, this is a bad situation for him. It's hard to see how he recovers from it, because if he could make the trade and then get everyone to buy in to the team concept and to go out there and take care of business, then yeah, he could survive. I don't know that he's going to be able to do that, and his issue, as we had talked about all of these last 2 years, was he did not build the alliances that needed to be built for when he hits the rocky patches. Having people give him the benefit of the doubt, having people stick by him, and so he's out on this island, and he's worked hard this summer to do it, but that it feels like maybe that's a little too late kind of a scenario. And so he's just in an incredibly difficult position. This was his guy. And this was, he had implied by making the moves that he did that it was everyone else's fault, that it wasn't working. And I'm going to take these other guys in, and we're going to show you how to do this professionally and how to take this seriously and make this happen. And they won a lot of games and they got to the playoffs, but now the main guy in that plan is just submarining them. And so it's just an incredible blow to your vision, your plan, and your ability to articulate anything else on this.
One more very on-point Twitter question to get to, and then we'll wrap it up. Thanks again to Bite Squad. BiteSquad.com, promo code TalkNorth. Thank you for doing that. Thanks to TSR Injury Law, 612-TSR Time, and SodaStick.com. Check out their special run of Viking stuff right now. From AW Basketball, how excited are you guys for Media Day on Monday?
It's going to be unbelievable. I can't remember ever being in a scenario like this, where start of the season, there's usually optimism, and you can kind of sell hope, and you can... And even if this news hadn't come out, Tibbs would come out, I guarantee, would come out on Monday and say, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. You guys are overblowing everything. These guys get along, where everyone has the same goal in mind to win and all of that stuff. And that all has been blown out the window. And it's going to be a lot of tap dancing, I imagine. It's going to be a lot of ducking and dodging and I don't know what it's going to be like. I can't imagine what Tibbs is going to have to say on Monday. He's not going to open a vein and say, "Oh yeah, I'm incredibly hurt by Jimmy's. We're in a really tough spot and all this stuff." I just don't see that doing it. But if you try and say nothing's wrong here and whistle in the graveyard, it's going to come off as completely insulting to the public's intelligence. So Brad Ryder and Aaron Seahusen and all those guys, good luck, man, trying to formulate a message and get these guys on board for this, because this is the ultimate PR challenge right now, in addition to the ultimate competitive challenge.